bitter cold temperatures, ice, sleet, and rain, severe storms, and fun in the snow.
I'm really glad that it's really snowy.
It's the best, the worst, and everything in between. It's winter in St. Louis. Thanks for joining us. I'm News Channel 5 Chief Meteorologist Craig Moeller, and the 5 on Your Side weather team is here to get you ready and help you through the winter season.
Scott and I have your morning forecast covered.
And of course, I'm here to help you navigate your drive to work.
And we asked you on Facebook to describe an average winter in St. Louis. And the reality is every winter is as different as our viewers who posted on social media.
Mother Nature usually offers up a wide variety of weather each winter in St. Louis. D'Angelino says it's hard to explain any season in St. Louis, as our Facebook friends shared their thoughts on a typical St. Louis winter. Bridget Weaver describes it as a really great roller coaster ride, and it sure is. While the Arctic air invades from time to time, we usually don't have a prolonged period of frigid temperatures. In fact, we usually see only 2 to 3 days below zero. Most of the time, that's with snow on the ground. And that January thaw, as Matthew Herbert notes, we usually do have a thaw or two, and the transition is usually abrupt back to winter. 1 or 2 storm systems produce more than 6 inches of snow each winter on average, but from 5 to 10 days, we'll see an inch or less of snow, just enough to snarl traffic under the right circumstances. Total snowfall averages around 18 inches. Most of our winter storms feature a mix of precipitation depending on the storm track and how much cold air is available. Occasionally, as in 2006, we have significant ice storms that cause widespread power outages. Overall, the winter months of December, January, and February are the driest with 6 inches of rain or melted precipitation. Lucy sums it up well for us, describing our winter as predictably unpredictable. It's not Hawaii and it's not Alaska. It's St. Louis and it's home.
You just heard from St. Louisans about our typical winter, but we all know winter can be anything but normal around the bi-state.
So true. And St. Louis is prone to severe weather all year round, even in the winter. In January 1967, an EF4 tornado formed in St. Louis County before it lifted. 3 people were killed and about 2,000 homes were damaged. That's just one example of our extreme winter weather.
St. Louis is no stranger to winter storms. Back in January of 1982, a massive winter storm crippled the city. Lambert Airport recorded 13.9 inches of snow in just 24 hours. That's the 3rd highest amount ever recorded in that time frame. Before the end of the decade, people across the bi-state suffered through 80 hours of below-zero wind chills. Fast forward to late November of 2006, when a snow and ice storm left more than 500,000 people without power and caused $50 million in damage. And who could forget New Year's Eve 2010, when storms fired up out ahead of a cold front, dropping powerful tornadoes across the region. The hardest hit area was near the St. Louis-Jefferson County line, where an EF3 tornado carved a path of destruction from Del Mar Gardens along Highway 30 and across 141. The tornado intensified to 150 miles per hour, leveling several homes near Lindbergh and Old Watson Road. Just 2 months later, St. Louisans were in for another round of severe weather when a tornado outbreak hit the metro area. The National Weather Service confirmed 22 tornadoes that day, along with large hail and damaging winds. 2013 would prove to be a snowy year when another foot of snow fell on St. Louis in December, with nearly 15 inches south of the city. 2014 started out frigid, with more than 1 foot of snow falling around St. Louis and wind chills below -30 in some outlying areas.
Forecasting winter weather is one of the most challenging things we do. Small changes in the atmosphere can lead to big changes in what a storm actually produces. Winter forecasting can be extra tricky, even for the most seasoned meteorologists. Fred Glass leads a forecasting staff with over 200 years of combined experience. They've seen it all.
Winter weather by far is probably the most challenging thing that we forecast throughout the entire year.
St. Louis's winters have a way of humbling even the most seasoned forecasters. One of the big reasons, those frequent mixed precipitation events.
That would be one that we have not only snow, but we're looking at maybe having sleet and freezing rain or some large combination. When you get mixed precipitation types, it impacts the amount of all those different types that may fall.
Mix in a little bit of sleet and freezing rain, and it can greatly reduce the amount of snow a storm produces.